Hi all, how are you going? Welcome to the round of Red Skis Righteous Readings, Raw and Righteous. I have a beautiful pick a card reading for you today with the beautiful new runes that have just been delivered for me to replace the ones that got a crack in them from one of my twins. And they are gorgeous in different scents and different stones here. Beautiful amethyst. So we have 4 piles. I don't know what the runes are. They are completely selected at random. I just picked 4 stones out the back. We'll get the rune meanings, cards, as well as additional messages to go with this. So I'm just going to give you a close-up of them without showing you, of course, which rune they are. So this is the number 1, first grouping, second grouping, third grouping, and the 4th grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel it out. Which one you would prefer? 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting close for you. So pick a card reading for July 2021, of course. We're doing the rune round. Runes have been really big for me this month. I just absolutely love them. I was quite heartbroken when my old set, one of my twins accidentally dropped on my slate tiles and broke it in half, even though it's still usable. Any excuse to buy more runes, and these will be their replacements. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a pile or cards drawn at random and additional messages to go with. So here we go, starting with group 1. So group 1, you picked this beautiful piece here. You have the rune of the F shape, which is the rune number 11, which is the rune of honesty. So honesty, I'm going to read you the meaning of the rune first, considering that is what you picked. So I think that's the most prevalent part of this reading for you today. So honesty. The sacred hand mirror of truth now lies in front of you. Pick it up in silence and without fear. Look into the present situation. Ask if you are being honest, first with yourself and then with others. To be honest with oneself is where all healing begins. If you only now learning the simplicity that is born of true honesty, take a moment to remember the very first time you admit to yourself or to another the depths of truth of your feelings. Be grateful for the relief you felt and the wisdom you gained by laying down the burden you have carried for so long. For some, drawing this rune is a sign that the days of hiding from yourself and from others are over. If, however, those days are upon you, still meditate on Shakespeare's poignant words. This above all to thine own self be true. Honesty opens locked cupboards in the heart. Being honest is one way of relieving the pain. If you find that speaking the truth is still difficult, perhaps the very reason you received this rune is to remind you to ask God for the courage to try again. Consider, if your will, honesty's position on the circle of runes. Between boundaries and serenity, the oracle is saying, lies the frontier of honesty. Once you reach this place, life is easier, for it takes less effort to be honest than dishonest. When you deal honestly with life, your body and your heart will create boundaries for you. Boundaries that support you while take the steps to change, and step by step, serenity will become an even greater part of your life. Receiving this rune, you are reminded that there is less of everything, less hope, less trust, less faith, less to life itself. With rigorous honesty, the moment has come. The rune is saying to make a searching and fearless moral inventory of your feelings, your ways of thinking and your actions. And remember that when honesty goes, it takes serenity with it. For the seeds of courage to heal can only grow in honest soil. It has been said that among the attributes of well-nourished self and the ability and the willingness to nourish others, honesty nourishes the soul even as it fosters healing. As the years go by and the courage of your life changes, it is the ability to be honest with ourselves that provides us with the opportunity to teach the next generation that there is both honor and power in speaking the truth. So speak with honest words and be honest with thy heart. This is the way for serenity to give way. Now, group 1, I'm going to pull some tarot for you. The rune of honesty at its side. May the reading be that too for you and bring you solace. Just pop out a little beautiful piece over here. Actually, I just love these stones. I've just got to put them at the forefront. There we go. You can see that. I hope. Okay, for this grouping of number 1, you picked the rune of honesty. We have the 2 of Wands coming through first. So we're looking at the life the way it is. We're looking at things the way they are and their full living, breathing fullness. And then we're looking at the idea of it. So this is a real kind of reflection and of choices needing to be made here. Twos always are forks in the road. But this one really speaks in atonement to looking at what you wanted in its living and breathing fullness, the world, for example. He holds the idea of the world in his hand, and then he looks upon the world created. He asks himself, are they one in the same, or has the idea of what I wanted spanned into something that is not in alignment with me? The idea was great, but now I see it in its full living, breathing fullness. Is that actually what I wanted? Is that what my vision was to be? This. The second card to fall was the King of Pentacles. So very mature earth energy here. Very grounded, very responsible, very creative, but very grounded. Very generous as well. May have an interest in the arts or sciences, things of that nature, mathematical ability perhaps coming through, but they're very learned, very experienced, very understanding. Have a real business acumen about them. The Ten of Cups reverse follows that. Now this is speaking in atonement to real loss of either a friendship or a connection, a real unhappiness, family quarrelling, pettiness, rage, difference of opinion through the family, not being in alignment with family. The final card to come for you was the Two of Pentacles reversed. So again, this is talking about a choice, but it's more so about monetary. It's about your ability to keep up with it, your agility in handling matters, you know, the gaiety you get from that. It's very simulated. It's very enforced. Could be seen as a little bit mundane. The Two of Wands is really saying we are looking at it all. Group 1. Looking at it with true eyes, I want to say. With honest eyes, yes. With honest eyes, yes. And you're being honest to thyself. And you're saying, I'm mature. I'm smart. Why is my idea not coming out through living, breathing? Like, why am I not living the idea of it? Why is it not the same? Well, that's because there is some ruffled feathers here. There is some differences of opinion with connection here. There is some things that you're not being honest with about. Things that you think make you happy, which really actually don't. And I just pulled the Lovers as well, sign Gemini coming through now. There needs to be some real choices here. And honesty as well. The Lovers really speaks about looking at it for its true self. Is this love in its honesty, or is this bane and insincere? And this is also about seeing the love, the beauty, the perfection and the harmony and the trust in life itself, as well as love connections. Feeling the romance of it all. Deep feeling of sentiment, emotional. You know, there is that element though of the necessity to test this trial it to see if it's as it says it is, or whether it's just profane love, whether it's sacred or profane. But will it be that meaningfulness that you really want it to have, or is it just surface level, and underneath that surface it's all muck and drill? So group 1, what I have for you is the real atonement of what your rune represented. Honesty. Looking at life through honest eyes, being honest with thyself, you know, and sitting with that. Making changes for that, because there is some elements here of disenlightenment, unhappiness. Is this love for life, or just living the life, I want to say? Because you can live the life you want to live. Is this it? Honest answer gets an honest question, or vice versa. Thank you, group 1, for joining me. We'll now move to group 2. Thank you. So group 2, we got this beautiful beauty. And you wouldn't believe this, but there is nothing on it. Do you know what that means? I know what that means. It means this is number 25. And this is the rune of the divine. Now this is very, very rare, everyone. I've only ever read it once because it comes out that rarely. So if you picked group 2, I want to say congratulations, because you have been divinely guided to pick this rune, because as I said, it barely comes up. It really is a very unique rune. So it reads as so, number 25, the divine. Divine love is present in each of the seasons of the heart. Throughout our lives, the love nurtures us, comforts us, inspires us, and teaches us, and at the end calls us home. When did you first begin to know the divine? Was it in the innocence of your childhood? Was it through adversity or loss that you began your search? Or have you always known that there was a power greater than yourself guiding your life? Though all of the world's religions, from temples and churches, from mosques and mountaintops, the divine speaks to us. For some, the divine dwells only within. For others, God is present everywhere. Consider the poet's call to see God in a blade of grass. How much more wonderful to see God in the face of other human beings. Receiving this rune is a gentle reminder to hold yourself in the presence of God each day. In the night is long, and you have been seen sitting alone at the bedside of a troubled or dying loved one. Know this. In a still small voice, God speaks when we are ready to hear. And if you are in the season that calls for reconciliation with your life, remember that acceptance and forgiveness are two of the greatest teachers of us all. If you find yourself facing a test for which you feel unwilling or unready, make the divine your strength. What you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. Our lives are ordered for us by the divine so that nothing is too much. Yet, if the present challenge seems too great and you are too weary to travel further, bless this moment and turn your will over to God. As you do so, all else falls away. Your burden will be lifted from you, and you will find the courage to go on. God is the physician to all our healings. However, the divine enters your life in your love for a child, a partner, or our Mother Earth. God's love is the deepest truth available to us. Once you have made this truth your own, you need never want, never fear again. And at the end, it is God who calls us home. I am the life and the light and the way. The earth is the garden. Each of the souls I plant as seeds, germinate and flowers in its season, and in each I am fulfilled. There is no cause for grief when a blossom fades, but only rejoicing for the beauty it held, and praise that my will is done and my plan served. I am one with all creatures, and none is ever lost, but only restored to me, having never left me at all. For what is eternal cannot be separated from its source. Powerful. The rune of the divine. Wow. It does remind us, doesn't it, of exactly what we are and who we are, and exactly what's important to us. Group 2, I really do feel that you are connected with Source, or are feeling Source at the moment. You're being bestowed blessings that you may have always had there, and have only just now realized what a blessing it is to have these things. Or whether you are being blessed currently. Thank the divine for all. Blessed be. Let's get your tarot cards now to go with group 2, the number 25, the lovely, the divine rune. The divine. Okay. 6 of Pentacles. Equal shares. Equal. Across the board, no lion's share. It's all about equality amongst the monetary. Everyone gets their portion. No one is left hungry. No one is left weak. It's all even. It's all fair. Okay, 9 of Cups. Doing it ourselves. Feeling gratitude here. Feeling pretty chuffed with ourselves. Feeling like we did this all alone. The 9 of Cups really does speak of success through material attainment, advantage, well-being and abundance. Good health as well. getting over those difficulties, surmounting the shit out of that. Anything else for group 2? The divine rune, please, spirit and guides. The Ace of Swords coming through now. So a lot of force being used here, a lot of force towards what we want. We're using real forceful abilities. That Ace of Swords is really speaking atonement to great determination, you know, strength, force, activity, triumph through power and success here, and prosperity. And we're having a deep emotional feelings here as well, like love, championship, conquest. We're really setting the seed of force and triumph and having love and compassion in that. Oh, and that reflects that beautifully. Leo coming through now, strength card. Having strength and conviction. You know, taming that beast, internal, external. Really championizing our strong points and strengthening our less strengthened. You know, we are being defiant. We're using action, confidence, conviction, accomplishment here. And the final card to come out for you was judgment. So judgment's being made here. I'm seeing that they will be truly fair. This is about atonement, judgment, the need to repent, to account for the manner on which we've used our purposes. The divine is speaking here to you about, you know, you may have had opportunities. They will come. To use them to your highest of good for those of you and those around you. To support. To use strength and to use judgments in this. To have the strength to make the judgments in this even. You are enough. You know, you've got what you need here. You know, everything is righteous here, I want to say. It's very righteous because we've got, you know, everything's upright. Everything is like equal, it feels. The Six of Pentacles talking about equality here. That Nine of Cups. I did this. I made that equality for me. Ace of Swords, because I used the force, the initiative, you know, I had some damn backbone, I want to say, up in here. Strength. I supported myself by my own strength, for having the courage and the conviction. And I did it. I made the judgments. I made the calls. I suffered also those endurances. But here I am. Here I am. And I am full. I am fulfilled. I am looking good, smelling good, feeling good. You know, I am on top of my world. I am its creator. I am the divine. Honestly, that's what I would title this. I am the divine. You've just worked out one of the biggest secrets in life, I feel. That you are a divine being living a divine experience and the world. Everything happens in its cycles, in its time, and this is talking about the order of the completion, the whole process of it going from start, middle to finish, and it ending, completing its cycle. The end of all results, of all efforts, the rewards that come from that, and this stands for also eternal life. Eternal life, guys. For we are eternal beings, just not in this form, not on this plane. We do return back to source. Wow. Wow. This is the first time I've used these runes and this is blowing my mind. Okay, group 2, thank you so very much. And I can't wait to see what group 3's got in store. Wow. Group 3, who picked this beautiful rune? We have the rune. Oh, it's number 20, the rune of surrender. So group 3, we have picked the rune number 21 of surrender. Number 20, surrender. It is through great surrender that we come to the recognition of force greater than ourselves, a limitless power that is available to us, a power that heals. Surrender is the highest form of conscious contact with the divine. Almost all the world's great religious and spiritual paths practice some form of surrender. Drawing this rune is an invitation to turn your will and your love and your life over to God. Not so long ago, surrender meant defeat and brought with it shame and dishonor. On the healing journey, surrender may relinquish control, for in doing so, we acknowledge our readiness to heal. Receiving this rune, you are being asked to let go of your need to control the present situation or to release any past experience that continues to trouble you. For some, this rune encourages your surrender to the feelings of being alone or abandonment by embracing your fears and moving through them hand in hand with the divine. If you are facing a critical illness, a life crisis, or if the moment has come to stop fighting yourself, be grateful and practice surrender. And if you do nothing else, let go and let God. For many of us, this often repeated phrase has already provided safe passage to a new way of life. If you are seeing these words for the first time, let them mark a new beginning for your healing. The true power of surrender always changes our lives. Since this rune has come to you this day, pray and affirm. I surrender my will to the greater will, the will of the divine. I will to will thy will. I repeat. I surrender my will to the greater will, the will of the divine. I will to will thy will. Thank you. Amen. So group 3. Needing to surrender. Surrender all past, present, relinquish all bad and good responsibilities, things that have held you down, held you back, whether that's via yourself or others. It's time to surrender and be one. All right, let's see what cards come through for you now. For group 3, please. Pick the rune of surrender. What messages do we have for group 3, please, spirits and guides? Pick the rune of surrender. Rune of surrender. Spirits and guides. What other messages do we have for the rune surrender, group 3 today? Group 3, yes we do. The High Priestess, using our intuitive nature, maybe holding back some secrets a little, but we really are coming to terms with some deep wisdom, I want to say, some deep knowledge. You know, we're using our sound judgments, trusting in ourselves, using some common sense, but we're trying to find that place of serenity through objectivity, foresight, intuition, self-reliance. Maybe being a little bit emotionless at the moment, but we've got to get shit done. So you're trying to keep the emotions out of it. Trying to really absorb all of the experience at the moment, but then lock it down inside thyself, not to share it. Second card to fall was the Four of Cups reversed. So this talks about new possibilities, new relationships, new approaches to old problems, and new knowledge, because we've been able to deal with or release that through our wisdom. Now we can renegotiate our life, because we're in a new mind frame. We're in a new chapter. 8 of Wands. We are using swift activity here, quick movement. It is flying like wands through the air. It's quick paced, it's fast movement, it could be passionate as well. 5 of Pentacles, being locked out in the cold. Third party experience, maybe been cheated on, hurt. Complete loss, destitution and ruin here. The final card to fall was the 10 of Cups reversed. Unhappiness, loss of a friendship perhaps, or a connection. Quarrelling, in-house fighting, pettiness, rage, difference of opinion. I'm seeing here 2 sides to the story. When we use our wisdom, we have new possibilities, and we have quick movement with that. When we don't listen to our sound wisdom and we don't surrender the things that we, can't change or can't accept, or we end up destituting ourselves. We end up putting ourselves in the worst possible position. We end up in the place we did not want to go in the end. We end up alone. We end up alone and unhappy and bitter about that experience. When we champion our wisdom and we use sound judgment and we are our best of self. When we don't accept and we taint and toxify ourselves, we become shallow, we become nasty, we become vengeful even. We can become sadistic even. We become bad, I guess you could call it. We lose a good portion of ourselves as well as what we earn and what we made and who we are. To be our best selves, we must accept and we must surrender. surrender is the highest gift of all. To release. That's all I have for you, group 3, but I think the message is still quite strong of what you need to know here. I hope that has helped. This ruin round has been something else, I must admit. Now to the final grouping, group 4. Okay, my darlings, group 4, the final grouping for today for the pick a card reading. Thank you again for joining me. So group 4, I picked the beautiful lighter colour here. We have the ruin of, let me look. Oh, what do we have? Oh, let me see. Hey guys, it is ruin number 19, the ruin of anger. Took me a little while to actually work out what ruin it is, actually, to be quite honest, because the markings are a little bit weird. The challenge for you in drawing the ruin of anger is to take anger's powerful energy and treat it as an ally in your healing and a wake-up call for change. The ruin announces that the moment has come for you to let go of anger. Know that in doing so, you must give up the old and be willing to wait patiently for the new to be revealed to you in proper time. Be mindful that there are situations in which anger can serve as a signal from within, a warning that something inside in your life is out of balance, unexamined or crying out for attention. And during the ruin of anger, you are being asked to consider this possibility. Since anger is often a mask for hurt, fear, or feelings of abandonment, look beneath your anger and ask yourself, are you feeling angry because you feel no one is listening, because it seems that no one sees you, or because you have no one to turn to? Has some aspect of your present situation caused fresh pain in an old wound? Whatever may be the case, welcome anger as information. Explore it, see where it is coming from, and how it prevents you from saying what you truly mean to say. Receiving this ruin need not be taken as a challenge or a demand that you face your anger. In fact, you needn't even be angry to draw the anger ruin. Each ruin offers you an opportunity for meditation. So take time to think about your circumstances. Meditate on your anger. See if you can find a safe passage that leads from the present situation to a place of harmony and peace. Anger at injustice can be liberating and powerful force for change. Healthy anger, appropriate anger, can free you to break old patterns of helplessness. Anger is a force that can provide you with the energy to change. There is a blessing for you in receiving this ruin, a new way of looking at life, a new way of responding to conflict. When you are able to take the new perspective out into the world, surely then you can call anger your teacher and your friend. So we need to accept these things. We need to accept these things, and we need to understand. Okay. Let's get some tarot now. For group 4, the final grouping, the ruin of anger. Ruin of anger. Group 4, what messages do we please have for group 4, the ruin of anger? Temperance in reverse. We have not living in a temperate energy, not being moderate, not having balance or liberty here, it feels. Feeling very conflicted, very discorded, hostile maybe even. You know, we're having an inability to work with others, even to be able to understand them, their thoughts, opinions. We're impatient right now. We're irritated right now. You know, that King of Swords, you know, an active, determined person who's experienced, authoritative, controlled and commanding. Justice through force and superiority, you know. Person having many thoughts and designs, but maybe you're just not looking at things the right way. The 8 of Swords follows that with the Page of Cups reversed, King of Pentacles reversed, 3 of Cups reversed. Okay, you guys are really out of alignment, I've got to say. That's why you've picked this ruin of anger. You're pissed at everything inside. Somehow, somewhere, in some deep crack or crevice, you got a chip on your shoulder. The King of Swords is a person having a lot of thoughts and designs, alright? The 8 of Swords reversed, it's talking about you've had a lot of treachery in the past and you're having a real difficulty working through this. It's put you in a depressive-like state. It's made you a bit of a shell of oneself, of who or what you used to be. Page of Cups reversed is having a lot of deviation, susceptibility. You're very distracted at the moment from where you need to be, what you need to be doing. King of Pentacles reversed again. Corruption, using any means to desire's end, unfaithfulness, leading yourself down the garden path to peril. Three of Cups reversed, excessive pleasures, overabundance, loss of prestige, lack of appreciation. We're not living a temperate life. We are being very discordant. We are being very... They did that to me, so they deserve that. You know, it's not about that, guys, okay? We got to let this shit go, okay? This pent up shit, this chip on shoulder, whatever it is for you, you need to release this. Or accept it and move on, okay? It's time to close this chapter, guys. I'm sorry, but it is. You know, we can't be discorded like this and thinking we're in our right frame of mind to do so, because that King of Swords behind it is saying, my thought process is my activeness, which is my way, so it be done. But if you're in a discorded kind of energy and you're making a lot of mistakes, you're infighting, you can't get on the page of other people's thoughts or opinions or ideas, then you're only seeing your own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. You're not taking in anything from the outside. You're not getting a good perception on this, I want to say. You're not seeing it clearly. You're only seeing your side. And yes, you're a wounded warrior here. Treachery in the past. Crisis, conflict, discord again, like... And you're in a place right now where you're very susceptible to this anger, or susceptible to this way of thinking and feeling, and it's really putting you on your head. It's taking you down a path of corruption, of ill will, of sickness almost, of cruel desires, and you're doing this in an overabundant energy. You're doing this to excess. You're taking it to a whole nother level, I want to say, group 4. Two of Cups reversed, I've just pulled as well. So this is all happening because of unsatisfactory love or a false friendship, troubled relationship. There could have been a divorce or a separation here, but there was cross desires and misunderstanding, and you might have invested too much, them not enough, whatever, and it's put you in this energy. You can't accept it, you can't move on from it, you don't want it, but at the same time you're so conflicted and calamineted in it. You need to release this, guys. This is no good. I'm sorry, but this is no good. This is just no good for you. It's no good at all. This is no good for you. Disagreement, misunderstanding, opposites. It's a hard one, this one, I'm afraid. It's, yeah, there's not much good I can really reap out of this for you. Like, I could pull cards all day, but I'm not going to get the message that you want, I don't think. This is your message that we need to accept. We need to accept this. Sorry, guys. I wish I had a better note to end it on, because this reading's been lovely, but I can only read the messages that I get. That's why this is, you know, this is the channel I want, an honest and upfront channel, and this is what I see. So that's it from me. I love yous all. Please subscribe to the channel. Redski's Righteous Readings, Raw and Righteous. I hope you have a wonderful July as we head into Cancer season now. So happy birthday to all the Cancers as well. Light and love to you all. Like and share. See you on the next round of Redski's Righteous Readings. Raw and Righteous, baby.